Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Global Alliance Director at Microsoft, Jill Tracy.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Are you all awake? Sort of? Yeah, I know it's early, so I empathize, but what happens at FRS stays at FRS, so your secret is kept with me. But thank you all for making it in this early morning time, and I really appreciate you getting up extra early for this. Hopefully, we can keep your energy going and wake you up and help you get on your day. As they said, my name is Jill Tracy, and I'm Microsoft's Global Alliance Director, responsible for our partnership with Dell. Now, I'd like to share with you an example of how Microsoft, Dell, and a partner called MAX451 work together to help a customer use Microsoft technologies and Dell devices to gain deeper insights and significant ROI. So now I'd like to introduce you all to Kristian from MAX451.
Hi,
Hello.
Jill. Good to see you.
You saw her in the video, and she's here to share with you firsthand about the story that you just saw and give you a demo about some of the data insights technologies implemented by Pier 1 Imports. So take it away, Kristian.
Thanks, Jill. Hey, how's everyone doing? You hanging in there? It's early on a Vegas morning. It's good to be here. You saw a little bit about what we're doing with Pier 1, and I'm going to show you some examples of that. And then also, we'll be able to, excitingly, tell you about how we've been able to, along this journey with Pier 1, take what we've been doing over the last several months and be able to kind of package it up into an offering that, in partnership with Microsoft and Dell, we can go to market together to help accelerate our customers to achieve their business objectives. Now, this slide is just going over how we at MAX451, so our specialization is in organizational change management. We take on the role of change agent. And the reason we do this is we partner with our customers to help them manage change. I mean, how many of you guys have experienced customers coming to you and saying, I have a data warehouse, I don't know what to do with the cloud? How many of you are getting these questions from customers? Right, oh my gosh, like crazy. And you know, I come from the server world. You know, that was my life. That's what I did my entire career, was servers, upgrading servers, SharePoint server. Everything was around servers. How many of you all here sell servers, infrastructure, storage? I mean, how many of you feel like your world just went like this? Okay, so our customers feel like that. I've felt like that. Some of you guys probably feel like that. And so what we've been able to do over the past several months is to be able to kind of make sense of that. And what do we do with the cloud? And the first thing we do is we start with why. Do you guys watch TED Talks at all? The TED Talk, Simon Sinek, start with why. And the reason for this is that customers don't buy what you have or how you use what you have, but they will buy why you do it. So when we started working with Pier 1, that was the first thing we started talking with them about. When we start working with any customer, that's the first thing we start talking about, is we start talking about how change is happening, disruption is here, this cloud situation we've got going on is here to stay. And so helping them manage change. And in the world of retail, which in the context of this particular conversation, we're going to talk about going to market with a solution for retail. This is something that all retailers are dealing with. Their customers are smart. They're sometimes more educated about the products than the employees in their stores. And they're not very forgiving. They don't give the brand a second chance very easily. They want what they want when they want it. Now, this slide was actually first created. The first draft was created by Andrew Lodato. He's the CIO of Pier 1 Imports. And he said, Kristian, here's my situation. I have databases, and I have servers, and they're not going anywhere. And guess what they are? Dell. And that's the situation with a lot of our customers. We're working with big, multi-billion-dollar customers, and people trust you all. They trust Dell. They trust what they have going on, and they want to understand how they might be able to utilize the cloud. So in we roll in talking about the cloud and Azure and what they can do with it, and they're like, great, right? There's no way we're moving everything to the cloud. And frankly, in most situations, that's not the case. That's not what should happen. So let's talk a little bit about this. Think about Azure as kind of the matrix. right? It does a lot of processing. It does a lot of thinking, and you hear all the terms like machine learning and like streaming analytics and all that kind of stuff. It's able to take data in for sure, takes data from those on-premise servers. It's able to feed it into Azure, process big data, consolidate big data, some of the buzzwords that customers are hearing. And then for sure, definitely, it's making those data insights available to employees on their tablets. Pier 1 is using Dell tablets in their stores. They slip them in their aprons and are able to pull them out and service their customers better. So yeah, that definitely does happen. But something that's key and something that is important to talk about is that data, once it's processed and consolidated, feeds right back into those servers. So at Pier 1, for instance, they have a large customer database warehouse project going on. Now, when we were only talking about Azure and Office 365 and all the cloud offerings from Microsoft, did it hinder the server business? Did it hinder what's going on with those Dell servers? No. In fact, it influenced an upgrade of SQL Server so that they would be able to scale and handle the capacity of the increased data processing and the increased data influx that they would be handling. So I very much did feel like, you know, what do I do, right? It's like the Morpheus. Do you take the blue pill and like everything will remain the same? It's like, I don't want to deal with this. Or do I take the red pill and go down the rabbit hole, right? So here I am, this Microsoft partner. Microsoft turned my world upside down. I took the red pill. I'm glad I did. And I asked Pier 1 to take the red pill with me. First, I thought I was crazy. Then I asked them, you know, what are your business goals? You know, what are you doing? What's going on at Pier 1? They have an initiative called One Pier 1. They're a retailer. They are trying to get ahead as omni-channel retail leaders, doing a really good job at that. Got a little more specific. Ask them about things like, what are your top priority projects? And the reason why we always ask them what the top priority projects are when we talk to customers is they're funded. It's a shorter sales cycle, usually results in some bigger deals. They're funded. And then we say, okay, we work with Microsoft and Dell. Let's figure out how we can take the offerings from Microsoft, offerings from Dell, combine them and be able to accelerate their business objectives. So we have two main projects that were going on with Pier 1. One was around Office 365, which is great, Yammer and SharePoint and OneDrive, et cetera. And that was really the first thing we talked about, because for them to be able to be social and collaborate faster and work better, empower them to be able to be more social and agile and be more to market faster is what we started with. Once they were able to do that, then we were able to tackle the analytics project. Now, after we understand what it is they're trying to achieve, it was how do we create a vision? How do we create a vision of how all the different offerings from Microsoft, which Azure itself, we could talk for a week about all the service offerings that are involved with Azure, but really we wanted to be able to take what it was that Pier 1 really needed. The first thing that we did, as I mentioned, is we put in place the collaboration platform so that Pier 1 could work a little bit more social, more open together. It involved Office 365, Yammer. Our app, we have an Azure app called Cloud9 Max, which is video streaming for training. They went with Surface Pro 3s for their first rollouts, and of course the Dell tablets in their stores. They have about 1,200 in their stores and rolling out more. Once that was in place, then we were able to make use of Azure. And specifically, as we'll see, Azure HD Insight, machine learning for the advanced predictive analytics, and Power BI as well. Recently, we've been able to add on a layer that helps kind of operationalize that data flow between the cloud and the on-premise servers. I'm going to skip ahead. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we did with the analytics side. And this is where the hybrid model really is highlighted here. The use case scenario we had is we had a challenge. Pier 1 was like, okay, we have an analytics project. We want to be able to predict the future. And it was aligning with the CMO's objectives of, can we make the outreach to our customers more personalized? Can we have marketing be able to send more personalized, customized emails, for instance, to increase conversion? And we said yes. So we were able to team up with Microsoft and Dell services and product offerings and be able to say, for sure we can. So let's take a look at what we did. The first thing we introduced them to was to be able to gather some of their clickstream data and put it in something that's called Power BI. This particular view of what we're looking at is called Power BI Q&A. And what it does is it allows the marketers, who are the business users in this case, to be able to just ask questions. They're not necessarily big Excel spreadsheet type people, just to see how things are performing. And this is showing the performance over time of their email campaigns versus their social campaigns. And you can see social's doing really well, email's good, it could have been improved. So that's where we focused. Now, recently, a couple weeks ago actually, Microsoft came out with their public preview of Power BI dashboards. And this is an example of their dashboard. You can see it has different connectors for various data sources. We chose to connect with Excel and be able to provide an online version that's very easily accessible through a variety of different devices. We also were able to make use of, this is Azure Machine Learning. So all of this is just in Azure, all these different services. Azure Machine Learning is allowing us to do that predictive analytics to be able to say which customers are most likely to buy which product next, to be able to make those emails more customized, to increase the click-through for that and increase conversion. Now, that being said, we also, to give you a glimpse at kind of what's next with all this, is how many of you have heard of Kinects, Xbox and Kinects? So the Kinects are fun, right? They also come in really handy as a data collection mode, where right now, this is in the middle is the CIO of Pier 1, and we have Kinects in a proof of concept environment. Below you can see kind of heat maps. We're not doing anything like photos of customers or anything, but we're seeing what are the hot product areas, collecting the clickstream data, collecting transaction data, collecting the connect data, being able to combine that in Azure and then feed that information back into their customer database warehouse so that then they're able to get a complete view of their customer, be able to see what is it that she wants and what is it that Pier 1 needs from a product planning and product strategy perspective. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means more Dell devices, it means more Dell servers, it means good things for us as partners with Microsoft and Dell, it means good things for Dell as well. So, give you an idea of what we're doing is, with Azure, we're able to have the near real-time streaming analytics. And what this is doing is a combination of clickstream data and the Connect data in the POC environment, showing the top 5 products over time. And so the executives are able to use Power BI and be able to see in near real time which products are hot and be able to change things like the website images, things like that dynamically. So to wrap up, we have, coming up, if you'd like some more information, we are working with the CIO and the CMO of Pier 1 Imports. We're having a webinar, so you can hear straight from them how they're using Microsoft and Dell together. MAX451.com/webinar. You can hear right from them how they're using these offerings. And then we've also been able to package a solution. So everything you saw very quickly is packaged using the offerings with these partners that are involved so that we can go to market together and be able to shorten the sales cycle and be able to see bigger deals. So when your customers are asking you, what do I do? What do I do as far as how do I handle the cloud and on-prem? Now we have a package solution that we can take to market together. So how many of you would like to see shortened sales cycles and larger deals? Excellent. Excellent. Well, I look forward to working with you, and thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your time in Vegas. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you, Kristian. That was an awesome story of the combined Microsoft Data Insights plus MAX451's capabilities, and then the end-to-end Dell solution between Dell on-prem data center all the way out to the Venue 8 Pro tablet in the stores.
Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing.